we have coming up the rest of January, please let me know because I'd love to get you signed up while we still have space. Let's get started in child's pose tonight, so we can get moving and sweating and heat creating and all of that good stuff. So spread out your fingers nice and wide in your child's pose and connect them down into the floor. Whatever it took to get here, whatever you have going on for the holidays, just put all that off to the side for right now so you can focus on your practice and you moving your body through space for the next 60 minutes. So take a deep breath in together and fill yourself all the way up. Exhale it out. 2 more like that. A big filling breath. Big exhale out. 1 more. Fill up all the way. Empty all the way. And start to create your Ujjayi breath. A long inhale with a pause at the top. A long exhale with a pause at the bottom to start to generate heat from the center of your body all the way out to the edges of your skin. Downward facing dog. Keep building the breath as you move your body around with the goal to get the heat in the room to meet the heat from the inside out at the level of your skin. Full inhales and complete exhales. And walk your feet up to your hands, hang in ragdoll. You can make a box with your arms or let your hands hang down towards the floor. Then pull the pit of your belly way in and up so the low back can round up toward the ceiling. Press into your feet. Rise all the way up to standing. Reach through your fingertips. Bring your thumbs to heart center. Set your intention for your practice. Pick one specific thing you want to focus on. We'll send out those intentions with 3 big ohms. Deep breath in. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, take a full breath in. High to low push up on your exhale. Upward facing dog, open up your chest. Downward facing dog, press back. 3 big breaths together. In, push the air out. Beautiful. Breath number 2, fill up. Empty out. 1 more, fill all the way. Empty to the pit of your belly. Step or jump to the head of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold down. Extended mountain, rise all the way up. Reach up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Full inhale. Chaturanga, low push up on your exhale. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Empty it out. 2 more. Fill up. Empty. Last 1. More air in. Push all the air out. Spring forward, feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold down. Extended mountain, rise all the way. Look up. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, step or jump back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Empty it out. Breath number 2. Exhale. Push all the air back out. Last 1. Empty completely. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Fold down. Extended mountain. Long inhale. Up to your fingertips. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Breath sounds amazing. Keep with it. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breath in together. Exhale it out. 2 more. Fill. Empty. Last 1. Fill all the way. Empty all the way. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Bow down. One more sun salutation A. Rise up to standing and reach. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breath in. Thumbs down on your exhale. Full breath. Soften your knees on your exhale. Yeah, there you go. One more. Empty it out. On empty, move forward. Halfway lift. Fold down. Chair pose for one breath. Sit back and reach. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. You've got one breath to reach all the way up to the ceiling. Low push up. Hands to the floor. Inhale up. Exhale down. Left side warrior one. Step. Long inhale as you reach. Chaturanga on the exhale. Upward facing. Downward facing. Breathe in together. Empty. Yeah, purposeful. In. Exhale. Last one. Push all the air out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Bow down. Chair posted way back in your hips. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Each fingertip down on the mat. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side warrior one. Step into it. Plug your big toe mounts down. Low push up. Big breath up dog. Exhale down dog. Left side warrior one. Step into it. Press and reach. Low push up. Inhale up. Exhale down. Breathe in together. Push the air out. Get clear. Fill up. Empty. Last one. Push all the air out. Spring forward. Halfway lift. Fold down. Chair pose. Utkatasana. Fold. Halfway lift. Low push up. Big breath. Up dog. Let it out. Down dog. Right side warrior. Step into it. Lift your chest up to the ceiling. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Step through. One long inhale. All the way up. Chaturanga. Exhale. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in. Clear it. Two more together. In. Exhale. Good. Last one. Empty it out. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Bow down. Chair pose. Sit back and lift your toes. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Keep working that breath. Pose by pose. Up dog. Down dog. Warrior one right side. Sink your big toe mounds down. Good, Charles. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side warrior. Step, plug in, and stretch. Low push up. Inhale up. Exhale down. Big breath in together. Empty it out. Breathe in. Exhale. Generate the heat with your breath. One more. Empty completely. Feet to hands. Halfway lift. Bow down. Chair pose. Down and back further. Fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Warrior one on the right. Step and stretch your body out of your pelvis. Nice, Ruby. Chaturanga. Up dog. Downward facing dog. Left side. Warrior one. Step. Set your gaze. 1 point. Chaturanga. Gaze to the floor. Upward facing. Downward facing. Breathe in. Exhale. 2 more. In. Empty. Eyes on one spot. Last one. Push all the air out. Look forward, move forward. Halfway lift. Fold down. Last sun B. Chair pose. fold. Halfway lift, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Warrior one on the right, deepest lunge on this side. Come way down into it. Yes, Tyler, chaturanga. Up dog, downward facing dog, left side, step through, you got it. Low lunge, thighs in, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Whew, hello. What's up? I want to say good morning like Ruby was saying earlier, but it's the afternoon. Send your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. It's good morning for your body, right? Flip your dog. Go all the way over. Feet connected, fingertips connected. And then right away, start to expand the space across your chest and your upper back. Good. Squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Lots of space. Nice. Then flip back over, side plank. Right hand down, left arm up to the sky. Then notice that the breath got quiet. Breathe a little louder so Betsy at home can hear you and sync up with your breathing. Flex both ankles and spread your toes. Good. One more inhale. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing dog. Send your left leg up to the sky. Bend your knee and open your hip. Flip your dog. When you land in your feet, land in your breath as well. Let it fill up the space in your body. The whole front side stretched as long as it'll go. Yeah, and there's lots of different variations. So you step into the one that creates the most space for your physical body. Then flip back over, side plank. Steady, rhythmic breath. If you can't hear the person breathing next to you, breathe a little bit louder so you remind them to come back into the space. Nice. One more inhale. Reach. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Push the air out. Right side crescent lunge. Step your right foot between your hands. Breath has been great so far. Keep it up while you set up the crescent lunge. It's a place where the breath normally gets quiet. Hands up to the sky. Come down deep in your lunging leg. Yes, even if that means you need to soften your back knee a little bit to make space for that, do that. Hands to heart center. Twist right. Open your arms. Then check in with your back foot. Send that back heel straight up to the ceiling. Plug your front big toe mound straight into the ground. Yes, Chris, there you go. One more breath together here. Stay for the whole exhale. Twist. Warrior two. Face the other way. You can adjust your feet if you need to. Get your front heel in line with your back arch. And again, come down deep. Commit to the lunge so your thigh, yes, is parallel with your mat. And if you need to widen your feet left to right or front to back, rather to do that, go ahead and do that. Extended side angle. Elbow to thigh or fingertips down by your arch. So notice if you came out of the lunge right away and just recommit to it. Front knee stacked on top of your front ankle. Nice, Nikki. Good adjustment. Go for a bind. Top arm around your back. If you're going for the full bind with your front arm underneath your thigh, stay low in your lunge so you've got some space to create that grip. Beautiful. One more breath in. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side crescent lunge. Step it through. Gaze set to 1 point right away. When you start to take out the pieces that are in between, the adjusting, the moving around, the looking around, and you're just doing one thing at a time, the pose becomes more clear. Come down lower in the lunge. Yes, Scotty, good. Front big toe mound in the mat. Hands to heart center, twist left. Feet in the mat. Your back toes in the floor. Open your arms. Even the pinky toe on your back foot. See if you can anchor that into the floor. Nice, Sadie. One more inhale. Stay for the exhale. Ring all of it out. Then warrior two, up and around. If you find yourself in a space where the breath got a little bit short or got away from you completely, reset it with a big exhale, whatever you need to do, then back to the 4-part breath, extended side angle. And the more you come back to it, the more you start to create space for the breath, the easier it is for the mind to pay attention to what's going on here and now. Take your bind. Eyes stay on one spot, simple and clear. Can you anchor the center of your front heel down so your front toes can soften? Yes, good adjustments. One more inhale together. Chaturanga, hands to the floor. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Breathe in together. Clear it out. 2 more. Fill up. Empty. Last one. Exhale completely. Spring forward. Halfway lift. Fold down. Chair pose and breathe. Stay with the powerful breath. You're working that heat, the tapas, out to the edges of your skin. Hands to heart twist right. To the edges of your skin so the heat in the room will meet that heat from the inside of your body. Open your arms. Bottom arm can go on the outside of your knee or between your knees. You choose the one that fits best. Stay here for 5, 4, 3. Spread your fingers. 2, 1. Chair pose. Fold. First 2 fingers around your big toes. Yeah, if the sigh needs to happen, let that happen. Set your gaze at the back edge of your mat so your neck can be long, but focus on one spot. That drishti, that focus, all on its own will also create heat in your body. Keep this beautiful breath flowing. Crow pose from the head of your mat. Take it with you. Any variation of crow you'd like to take. Set your gaze out in front of your fingertips in your crow so your weight shifts forward. Yup, an inversion might be there for you. Maybe you practice to jump back to chaturanga here, one leg or both. Eyes on one spot. You got it. One more inhale. Step or jump back, low push up. Beautiful. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. One breath in. Clear the air out. Move forward. Halfway lift. Bow down. Chair pose and breathe. Right back into the breathing in a way that your exhales can help root your feet to the mat and your leg muscles can squeeze into your leg bones. Hands to heart twist left. Spread your arms apart and take up some space. Tap into the rhythm of the breathing. The room's full of it. Let it be big and full for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chair pose. Fold. Gorilla, step on your palms. Set your gaze again, one spot. A lot of you have been practicing for quite a while now, and you're in the part of your practice where you can start shaving off little bits and pieces here and there to fine-tune your practice. Your gaze is one of those things. Let it be a point-to-point gaze. It's on one spot, and you specifically move it to the next spot. Specifically move it to the front edge of your mat. Crow number 2 from the head of your mat. Gaze on one point, plant your palms on purpose. That dialed in focus helps maintain the structure of the pose, the heat in your body, the strength that you've already have working for you. Squeeze the inner edges of your feet together here. Yes. Last breath. Step or jump, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a big breath in together. Empty it out. Breathe in. Exhale. Last one. Clear it completely. Move forward. Halfway lift. Bow down. Rise up to stand. Eagle pose, right side. Right arm under, right leg over. Breath has been amazing all practice. Keep that going. And then drishti, gaze on one spot. Then everybody lift the front of your pelvis up to your belly button. Yes, create some space for your low back. I stay focused on one point. Left side eagle, left arm under, left leg over. The heat is starting to increase in the room because your focus is increasing. Like the temperature is physically getting hotter because of your focus. Right side eagle, second set. When you start building all of those pieces together, all of those pillars together, the drishti, the tapas, that foundation of the pose, all the different pieces, it starts to build that heat up and create vinyasa. Switch sides. One more eagle. When all those pieces build together, it starts to create a sense of flow where you can drop into each and every pose and it's effortless. Not easy, but effortless. Standing leg raise, right side. Grab a hold of your right raised knee or your extended foot. Can certainly use a towel or a strap around your foot. Stand up nice and tall here in center. Let your weight settle into your standing foot. Good. Add more breath. We're staying right here in center today, folks. So keep pulling into the pit of your belly. Let that lift all the way up and out through the crown of your head. Beautiful. Let it be a little bit shaky. Airplane. Send your foot straight back. Reach your arms straight back. A little bit of shake is okay. You're letting those muscles turn on and dial up so they can help create the shape of the pose. Press through your lifted foot more. Yes, LT. And then out through the front of your chest. Pull those 2 points apart. Half moon. Right hand down, left hand up to the sky. Switch that. Left hand down, right arm up to the sky. You know the place to go. Expand out from the center of your body. Pull the pit of your belly in and up to help support the balance. One more inhale. Reach both feet to the mat. Standing leg raise, left side. If you don't typically hold the pose here in center for this long, just stick with it and see what there is to see. Oftentimes, if we're on the mat pretty frequently, very often for a long period of time, we fall into a space of, oh yeah, this just is the same old, same old. I do the pose for this long and then I go to the next pose. Stay a little bit longer and see what happens. Shaking might happen. More focus on the breath might need to happen. Good. Airplane. Send the foot straight back. With as much strength as you use to push forward in the standing leg raise, press back in the airplane. Out through the chest in your airplane. Half moon. I love all the slow transitions. Stick with that. Even if they're a little bit wobbly and you're working on the transition, stick with that work. Needs to be a little bit messy in the beginning before it gets clean and clear and controlled. One more breath. Both feet to the mat. Standing leg raise, right side. Standing leg raise, standing bow or dancer's pose, right side. So soft crease of the elbow faces out if you're taking standing bow. Dancers if you want to use the strap. Set your gaze. Take your pose. Add more breath here. Where there's so many things going on in the pose, add more breath so that your attention can stay on right here and right now. Last inhale, switch sides. Standing bow or dancer, left. Eyes on one spot. You got to get settled into the four corners of your standing foot, especially your standing big toe mound, rooted into the mat. I even see some toes starting to lift off the floor. Beautiful. One more inhale. Switch sides. Right side, second set. On the second one, pay attention to squaring your hips to the front edge of your mat. Most of you have the right hip turned out to the side a bit. See if you can soften and turn the hips to the front edge of your mat. Good adjustments. Yeah, even if it means you can't kick as high, keep working to square the hips. Nice, Paul. One more breath. Switch. Sometimes you have to give a little space somewhere to get a little space somewhere else. Last one, left side. Start with the breathing and the gaze. Give yourself space somewhere to make room to square your hips. Typically, that's a softness in the standing knee or kicking the leg a little less high to the ceiling so you've got room to square the hips. Beautiful. Last breath. Feet to the mat. Tree pose, right side. Start with your hands at heart center. Take cactus arms here. Then while you've got your cactus arms, knit your front ribs into center, just the front part of your rib cage right below your sternum. So it's like you're pulling the laces tight on a sneaker. And then squeeze your shoulder blades together on your back. Yeah. Create balance between those two things. The front ribs into center, shoulder blades together on your back. One more breath. Switch sides, left side tree. You can stick with cactus arms or choose a different arm variation. No matter what arm variation you choose, can you keep those two pieces still working? The front ribs into center, shoulder blades into center on your back. Yeah, so there's still room to breathe in your chest, even though those ribs are pulling tight. Last breath in. Both feet to the mat. Come up to the head of your mat if you're not there already. Extended mountain. Reach up to the ceiling. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Step or jump back. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right side triangle. Step your right foot between your hands. You can have a block on the outside of your shin or your front hand down on your shin. I like to use the block on the highest setting to start so I see how much room I've got to work with and then decide if I want to take it to a lower setting. Good. Now add more breath. Sink the outer edge of your back foot way down into the floor, enough that you could almost lift the arch on your back foot. Take a bind, top arm behind your back. Depending on your range of motion, you might be getting it behind your hip or in the hip crease on the front leg. If you've got it in that hip crease, you could even give yourself an assist and pull the hips straight back behind you. Press into your feet, rise all the way up to standing. Side facing wide leg fold. You've got two options in this fold. You can walk your hands back between your legs to bring the crown of your head to the floor, or reach your arms out in front and stretch from fingertips to tailbone. So you choose the one that creates the most length in your spine from crown to tailbone. How's your breathing? Oh, you check back in. How's your gaze? Is it moving around or can you plant it on one spot? Press your feet into the floor, rise all the way up to standing. Namaste, front facing forward, fold to the front edge of your mat. If splits is in your practice and you want to take that instead, go for it. Namaste folds, take a bind behind your back, either hand to elbow or reverse namaste. Hinge forward. Splits, work to square your hips as best you can. There you go, Charles. Little bit by little bit, you pull that left hip forward and drive the right hip back. Big, full Ujjayi breaths. Exhales that help root your feet, however they're orienting to the ground right now, into the floor. Twisting triangle or twisting splits. Bring yourself out to the side of the room. Block is super helpful here too because you can lengthen out your spine. It gives you more room to twist to the side of the room. One more breath together. Stay for the exhale. Get complete. Then high to low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Left side triangle. Step your left foot forward. Take up lots of space on your mat. You know you're going to go for the bind on this side as well. So give yourself room with long legs to pull your front hip crease deep already from the start of the pose. Add more breath. Yeah, really purposeful about it, especially if this is one of those poses that you typically shorten the breath or your breath has gotten away from you at this point in your practice. Take your bind, top arm around your back. If you've got the fingertips in the front hip crease, slide that hip crease deep into your body in a way that it'll pull your thigh bone, your front thigh bone, up and into your pelvis. Press into your feet, rise up to standing. Side facing wide leg fold with a bind. You can clasp your hands at your low back or put a strap or towel between your hands. Hinge forward. Add softness to your knees. And if the fold feels like it's in a stuck place, like you can't fold any deeper than where you are, soften your knees more so you've got room to tip your tailbone up. Give a little somewhere, take a little somewhere else. Tyler, press both of your heels straight into the floor. Yep. Release your hands down, rise all the way to stand. Namaste front facing fold or splits on the other side. Take your bind, hinge forward. The grounding section of the sequence is all about reconnecting with your feet. Now that you've made lots of space in your body and cleared a lot of stuff out of the way in the practice, you get to reconnect with foundation in the pose. How are your feet showing up? How are your heels showing up? Are your toes awake or are they asleep and gripping the floor? Yeah, there you go. Good adjustments. Twisting triangle or twisting split. Can you maintain the awake feet and the awake toes as you twist open to the side of the room? One more breath together. Complete the exhale. Twist. High to low push up. Upward facing dog. Down dog. Take a deep breath in together. Clear it out. 2 more. Breathe in. Breath out. 1 more. Empty it out. Roll out to a high plank. We're going to do some mountain climbers. You have the choice to hold the plank steady. Mountain climbers, you'll draw your knees into your nose. We'll be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower all the way to the floor. Locust pose. Reach your hands back by your hips. Palms face the floor. Rise up. Lift your chest. Lift your shoulders. And then pull your shoulder blades together on your back. Let them kiss the sides of your spine. You'll know that they're pulled in enough because you'll start to generate heat in your upper back. The whole upper back will start to get hot and I'll see your skin get red there. Yeah, add more breath to fuel the fire in your upper back. Keep squeezing them together. Good. Big inhale. Lower down. Turn your head to face one side. Rock your hips out left and right. Locust number 2, or you can take Superman. Superman arms are straight out in front, but you really need to recruit those low belly muscles to keep space in your low back. Rise up and away from the mat. Can you squeeze the shoulder blades together again here and generate the heat in your upper back? Nice, Amy. Fingertips awake, toes awake. Stretch yourself out. One more breath. Lower down. Hips side to side. Building that momentum up to the peak pose. Floor pose next. Bend your knees and grab your ankles. Press your shins straight back. Rise up. Shoulder blades together on your back. Keep peeling open the space across the front side of your chest. Flex your ankles and spread your toes. Yes. One more inhale. Lower down. Hips side to side. You got it. One more floor bow. Bend your knees, grab the ankles, up you go. You're clearing the extra stuff out of the way, just going from pose, transition to pose. I love the toes. Spread them out nice and wide. Let them be part of your asana. Last breath in. Lift. Lower down. Side to side. Upward facing dog. Rise up off your mat. Downward facing dog, press back. Lower your knees for a camel. We're taking one camel this afternoon. You can put a block between your thighs if you want to encourage that integration, your inner thighs towards center line. Ooh, lots of takers on the block. I like that. Lift your chest up to the ceiling, make your way back. How's your breathing here? Got a little quiet. It can be tricky in camel pose to let a smooth, big, open breath happen. See if you can invite that into your chest. Maybe you've got something coming up to the surface. It's making you catch your breath. Stay. Keep working on the breath. Next inhale, rise up and out. High hero. Sit your hips back on your heels. Nice, tall spine. Tailbone to the floor, front of the pelvis up to your belly button. Swing your legs around. Come down onto your back for bridge pose. You got it. Flat feet on the floor. Press down and rise up. Then clasp your hands underneath you so you can tuck your shoulder heads underneath you. All of this work you've done so far to create space in your shoulders and upper back for the wheel that's going to happen moments from now. Shoulder blades in, then press your shoulder heads straight down into the mat. Big inhale. Lower the hips, knees side to side. All right, yogis, you're more than ready. Wheel number 1, tuck your fingertips under your shoulders, press and go up. Big open space across the entire front side of your body. Tuck your chin and lower down. Take a breath in together. A breath out together. Number 2, wheel or bridge. Press, go, rise up. Nothing in your way. You're just creating the practice moment by moment. Tuck the chin and lower. Breathe in. Push the air out. Number 3, press, lift, go. Yes, right away you come up and away from the mat, fully committed to the pose. Lower down. Breathe in. Breath out. Number 4, you got it. Press and go. There's 3 more left. Fingertips into the ground. Press. Tuck your chin and lower down. Breath in. Breath out. 2 more. Number 5, press and go. And if you feel the urge to stay up, you're discovering something in the pose, stay and see how much space you can create. Otherwise, come down. Breath in. Breath out. Last one. Last big back bend. Rise up and away from the floor. Create a full muscle to bone connection on your entire body. Then lower to the mat. Supta Baddha Konasana. Press the soles of your feet to touch. Let your hands land where they need to land. How's your breathing here? Let all the stuff come up to the surface. The heat and your breath, your heartbeat, that sense of aliveness in your body. Dead bug. Grab the edges of your feet up at the ceiling or grab the backs of your thighs to pull your knees down. Steady rhythmic breath. Keep that going. It's been here all practice. Keep it up. Scissor legs. Either hands behind your head or hands underneath your hips. Legs straight up in the air. Lower your right leg halfway to the mat. Take a deep breath in together. Switch your legs on the exhale. Good. Stay and breathe in. Exhale, switch. Keep going with your breath. Switch on the exhale where the breathing and your movement are completely intertwined with one another. Keep going for 20, 19, 18, 17. Flex your ankles. 16, 15, 14, 13. Spread your toes. 12. Good. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. You got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs straight up. Hands underneath your hips so they can stay behind your head. Lower both legs 30 degrees to the floor. Squeeze your inner thighs together. Lower 60. Lower to hover. Flutter kick the feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs straight up. Belly down to the mat. Shoulders down to the mat. Lower 30. Lower 60. Lower to hover. Tiny circles with your feet. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs straight up. Got one more set. Belly down. 30, 60. Hover. Pendulum. Swing the legs side to side. Big swings. Fully to the left and the right. 5, 4. You got it. 3, 2, 1. Knees into your chest. Oh, yes. Good stuff. Abdominal twister next. Hands behind your head. Go elbow to opposite knee. Side to side. You choose the pace. You can go slower or quicker than your neighbor. That's up to you. Match up the breathing with the movement for 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Flex your ankles. 10, yes, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees into your chest. Last pose for stability, folks. Rock forward and back 3 times. Come up into boat pose. 3 times and stick it in boat. With your sit bones straight into the floor. Yes. Now wake up your feet and your toes. Knees can be bent, and then wake up the feet. Wake up the fingertips, whether you're grabbing your legs or they're out to the side. One more breath. Downward facing dog. Ruby conveniently skipped the stability poses. We all saw that. Yeah, downward facing dog. Right side half pigeon. Right knee to right wrist. You can take this pose facing the floor and create a support for your forehead, or take it on your back and hug your knee into your chest like a figure 4. Maintain that steady breath. Different quality about the breath now. It's still the 4 parts. The inhale with a pause at the top and the exhale with the pause at the bottom. The exhales might feel deeper. The inhales longer and more full. Because now you're in a space after generating all that heat where you can start to even out the heat across your whole body. Let that heat come all the way up to the surface of your skin from your core. Let your heat, the sound of your breath, travel past the edges of your mat and into the space where you're practicing. Whether that's here in studio or at home or a month from now when you take this class, let it spill off to the sides. Double pigeon, stack one shin on top of the other. You can use whatever props you like to use in this double pigeon. Could be a block under your knee, a towel under your ankle. And you're doing the best to stack those shins one on top of the other, and then flex your ankles to protect your knees. Now, see if you can get both sit bones straight into the floor. Even if you're starting to fold forward, can you press them straight back behind you and make them connect? Downward facing dog. Left side half pigeon, left knee to left wrist. Or left shin into your chest on your back. Steady breathing. Where can you send your breath in your physical body now to create a space of opening? If the pose is taking care of the opening in your hip joints, where else can you create opening? Double pigeon, opposite shin on top. Consider that this is a completely different pose. Instead of trying to mirror it to the other side, allow for the space for this hip to just create the pose how you need to on this side. Throw out the piece about making it a mirror image of the other side. Sit bones straight into the floor. As you lean forward, let the sit bones point back behind you. Steady Ujjayi breath. Seated wide leg fold. Take both of your legs nice and wide as it feels comfortable. You can stay seated on a block, or you can sit on the floor. Toes straight up to the ceiling. Fold right down the center. Oftentimes when I'm in this pose and I'm trying too hard in this pose, I'll lock out my knees and it starts to strain the tension in the back of my knees. If you're feeling some of the pressure in the back of your knees or it's pulling there more than anything else, soften your knees a little bit. Give yourself some space. If you feel like you're stuck and you can't fold further forward, soften your knees more. Give yourself space. One more breath together here. Stay for the exhale. Rise all the way back up. Draw your legs back together. Seated single leg extension. Right leg out, left heel in towards your thigh. fold over your extended leg. Some of you are opting for the side bend instead of the forward fold. That's also an option. Sometimes that feels nice when things have been really tight when it's cold outside, that side bend. Switch sides, left leg out, right heel in. Toes up to the ceiling on that extended leg. Rise up, both legs out in front. Slowly lower your back to the floor, one vertebrae at a time. Let's get upside down. Last opportunity to take an inversion of your choice. If you're headed to the land of shoulder stand, start in plow pose first. Headstands and handstands, take your time. You've got all the tools you need, the heat you need, all of the different pieces working for you. Most of the shoulder stands can walk their elbows a little bit closer together in center to create a more stable foundation and lift your hips a little higher to the ceiling. Yeah, there you go. Headstands and handstands. You've got another breath or two, and then child's pose or a high hero to reset. Shoulder stands if you're not in plow already. Go ahead there. Plow to deaf yogi. Bend your knees and hug them around the sides of your head. And slowly lower back down to the mat, piece by piece. Hug your knees into your chest. Supine twist to the right. Drop your knees one way, twist and look the opposite. Supine twist, other way. Supta Baddha Konasana. One last time, bring the soles of your feet together and press your big toe mounds against one another. If you're in studio, you've got a cold eye towel up by the upper corner of your mat. Let your bones get heavy. Allow your body to settle on your mat. Shavasana. Stretch out your legs nice and long. Stretch out your arms long by your sides. Take one last breath in together. Fill yourself up and up and up. Exhale it out. Let your entire body rest easy on your mat. Deepen your breath. Bring some movement back into your hands and your feet. Plant your feet on the floor and rock onto your right side. With your eyes still closed, press down and rise up. Take a comfortable seat. Inhale, reach your hands overhead. Exhale, thumbs to heart center. Let's finish our practice together with 3 final ohms. Deep breath in. Deep breath in. Exhale it out. Thumb knuckles to forehead center. Thank you all so much coming into the studio, signing in online, and making a sweaty practice happen. Namaste. Good work, everybody. Good sweaty work. And if you want to get into extra sweaty work, there are still spots in that restart detox class on the 1st. Have an awesome rest of your evening, and hopefully I will see you tomorrow at 5:45 p.m.